Hello, Rascals. Welcome back. For those of you who are new to Reading Rascals, I'm Miss Shannon. In addition to teaching online reading courses, I also try to make fun educational videos for children ages 4 to 8. If you would like more information on my online reading program, please visit my website at readingrascals.org. Today's topic, Valentine's Day. This is a wonderful time of year to talk about the topics of love, kindness, empathy, friendship. Today's story time will be about just that, Valentine's Day. The stories that we will be reading from are from A Village Full of Valentines, written by James Stevenson. This is a really cute book filled with short stories about how this little village celebrates Valentine's Day. Now, as many of you know, when I read a story, I am joined by my raccoon friend, Ray. Has anyone seen Ray today? Where are you, Ray? Where are you, Ray? Do you think Ray's in the bag? Ray, what are you doing in there, you silly raccoon? There's Ray. Oh, thank you, Ray. Ray made Miss Shannon a Valentine. Happy Valentine's to you too, Ray. So sit back with Ray and enjoy the story. Again, A Village Full of Valentines, written by James Stevenson. The first story is titled Clifford's Rule. Sending any Valentines this year, Clifford? Asked Maureen. Certainly not, answered Clifford. Why not? Asked Maureen. I have a strict rule, said Clifford. I never send a Valentine to anybody unless they send me one first. You might be waiting a long time, said Maureen. I already have, said Clifford. How long have you waited, said Maureen. 56 years, answered Clifford. Now, Rascals, that's a long time to wait for a Valentine. Maybe Clifford should think about sending some Valentines first, and then maybe he'll receive some. Our second short story is titled Mona, Tina, and Mary Lou. I have an idea, said Mona. What is it? Asked Tina. Let's hear it, said Mary Lou. Why don't we make our Valentines together this year? That's a great idea. It will save us time and we'll have fun working together. I'll cut out the hearts with the scissors, said Mona. I'll paste on the frilly stuff, said Tina. What will I do? Asked Mary Lou. You can address the envelopes. Wait a minute, said Mary Lou. That's no fun. Okay, said Tina. You can lick the stamps. Ew, stamps are icky, said Mary Lou. Why don't you lick the stamps? All right, said Mona. You can crayon on the little flowers and hearts and those things on the envelopes. How's that? I don't want to do that, said Mary Lou. I want to do the insides of the Valentines. But we're already doing the insides, said Tina. I want to use the scissors, said Mary Lou. But I had the scissors first, said Mona. I want to use the paste, said Mary Lou. Wait, said Mona. I have another idea. What is it? Let's do our own Valentines, said Mona. Fine, said Tina. That way we can surprise each other. And we can all stay friends, said Mary Lou. They all went home and got to work. They were kind of fighting over who does what in the Valentines. So they decided they were not figuring it out. So they still wanted to remain friends. So they decided to go home and make their own Valentines. Did they make the right choice, Rascals? Or do you think they should have stayed and figured it out? Something to think about. Our next short story is titled Donald's Special Valentine. Here's your Valentine, you lucky bird, said Donald to Tricia. Where's mine? This looks a lot like the Valentine Barbara gave you last time, said Tricia. Does it? Said Donald. A lot, said Tricia, and it's wrinkled too. You can smooth it out, said Donald. Thanks, said Tricia. So where's mine? Asked Donald. I'm kind of in a hurry. Shut your eyes and put out your hand, said Tricia. This better be special, said Donald. Oh, it is, said Tricia. Donald shut his eyes and held out his hand. There, said Tricia. Happy Valentine's Day. Donald opened his eyes. Where is it? It's in your hand, said Tricia. It is the world's tiniest Valentine. Do you like it? How can I tell if I like it, said Donald. I can't see it. Hold it very carefully, though, so it doesn't blow away, teased Tricia. Like this, Donald said, and he cupped his hands. Exactly like that, said Tricia. Make sure you don't lose it. Can I show it to other people? Asked Donald. You can give them a quick look, said Tricia, but be careful. So Donald walked away. Who wants to see the tiniest Valentine? Do you think that Tricia gave Donald a Valentine? She said it was so tiny that he could not see it. Was that her way of making Donald feel better? He gave her a Valentine and she wanted to give him something back. So my question, rascals, did Donald really have a Valentine in his hand? Our next short story is titled, The Most Beautiful Valentine Ever Made. David was walking past Murray's house when he heard groaning and moaning from inside. David knocked on the door. It's me, he said. Is that you groaning and moaning, Murray? Yes, David. It is, said Murray. It is me. I'm feeling miserable. Now, miserable is just a very big word to say he's unhappy. Let's find out why Murray is unhappy. David went in. Still working on your Valentine for Beatrice? Yes, said Murray with a moan. This is the third day and I'm getting nowhere. The floor was heaped with red paper hearts and Murray looked worn out. What's the problem? Asked David. I want to give Beatrice the most beautiful Valentine ever made, said Murray, and it's not easy. He began cutting another heart from a new sheet of red paper. David looked at the piles of hearts on the floor. Some were shaped like this or like that, all kinds of different hearts. None of the shapes are what I want, said Murray. Well, how does this one look, said Murray, holding up his newest heart up to the light. It's a little fatter on one side than the other, said David. So Murray began snipping with his scissors. Not that side, said David, the other side. Murray snipped the other side. Now is it okay, he asked. Well, now it looks kind of skinny, said David. Kind of skinny and kind of sad. Murray groaned again. He crumpled up the heart and he threw it on the floor. I may have to just give up, he said. The most beautiful Valentine ever made is just too hard. And he sat down. Of course it's too hard, said David. Why don't you make the second most beautiful Valentine ever made? Ooh, that would be easier, said Murray. Or what about the 10th most beautiful Valentine? That would be even easier. Beatrice would like that still, wouldn't she? Said David. Of course she would, said Murray. She'd love it. The 25th I could do by tomorrow, said Murray. He grabbed a broom and began to sweep up. David went out the door. Behind him, he could hear snipping, and then Murray began to happily sing. Now, just a little reminder. Murray was moaning and groaning about making the perfect Valentine. There's no such thing, rascals. Anything you give to a friend or a family member, they will love. I promise. If it comes from you, it's made with love and it's special. So don't worry. Do your best. Our next short story is titled, Nobody Likes Me. Happy Valentine's Day, Curtis, said Miriam. That's easy for you to say, said Curtis. What's the matter? Nothing much, said Curtis. Just nobody likes me, and I'll never get a Valentine. Don't give up too soon, said Miriam. She went away and in a few moments came back. She handed Curtis a Valentine. Thanks, Miriam, said Curtis. He put the Valentines inside his shopping bag. I hope you feel better soon, said Miriam, waving goodbye. I'll try, said Curtis, sniffing. Avery came down the street. Hi, Curtis. How's it going? Okay, said Curtis. Did you get any Valentines? Asked Avery. Curtis reached into his shopping bag and pulled out a handful. 12 so far, he said. Okay, so that one talks about Curtis, who was thinking, nobody likes me. I'm not going to get any Valentines. And then he shared that he received 12. I bet he's feeling a lot better now. Our next short story is titled Gus. Everybody in the village liked Gus, the tailor, and they all sent him Valentines. Gus wished that he could send a Valentine back to each one of them, but he couldn't. This year, Gus decided things would be different. All year long, he saved bits of red thread from his shop. By summer, the thread made a ball half as tall as Gus himself. And by February, the ball was higher than his head. Late in the afternoon, before Valentine's Day, when most people were home having their dinner, Gus pushed the big ball of thread out the door, out of his shop, and down the street. He was rolling it like a huge snowball. The thread trailed behind him. An hour later, when he finally got back to his shop, the ball of thread was almost all gone. The next morning, Gus opened his shop as usual. The first customer was Veronica. Would you sew a button onto my coat? She asked. Certainly, Veronica, said Gus. Oh, I almost forgot, said Veronica. Today is Valentine's Day, isn't it? I believe it is, said Gus. Did you make any Valentines? Asked Veronica. Only one, said Gus. Just one. The next story is titled The Valentine Show. In the late afternoon, everybody in the village went to Sydney's barn to see the Valentine Show. They sat on piles of straw and watched all the acts. First, there was ballet. What in the world is that supposed to be? Asked Clifford. It's a heart, said Vicky. It looks like two skunks and a bear to me, said Clifford. Can you see how the hearts, right, formed by the skunk's tails? Then Lester came on stage. Now we're all going to sing, he said. All together now, he twitched his tail. Let me call to you, my sweetheart. Everybody sang the song and clapped. Hooray for Lester. And Lester the snake tried to give his best snake bow. Next, Clayton came on stage. Here's a special weather report, he said. A big cloud is headed our way. It doesn't look like rain exactly or snow. It looks kind of like Valentine's. and a shower of valentines came floating down from the rafters where Mona, Tina, and Mary Lou were dumping paper bags full of hearts for everyone to see. Then Gus leaned over the railing at the top of the barn. Don't go home yet, please, everyone. You're all invited to come up for cookies and cider and one last Valentine from me to you. Everybody went up the stairs and Gus gave them cider and cookies. Delicious, said Maureen. Not bad, said Murray. I don't see any Valentines though, said Clifford. You said we'd get a Valentine. I almost forgot, said Gus. He put down the cookies. I guess it's time for the Valentine, everybody. Where is it? Asked Beatrice. Yes, where? Asked Miriam. Look out the window, said Gus. Everybody crowded around the windows and looked out. At first, they didn't see anything. Then Tina cried, I see red thread. I see it too, said Mona. Then everybody saw it, the one red thread that was lying on top of the snow. It goes around our whole village, said Clifford. And it's in the shape of a heart, said Mona. It's a Valentine, said Mary Lou. A giant Valentine for all of us. Everybody clapped and cheered. Thank you, Gus, they said. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, rascals. So this story had a lot of little short stories about how these villagers celebrated Valentine's Day. Remember, the idea is make a Valentine and make it special. If it's from you, it's already special. Try to think of little ways that you can show your family or your friends how special they are to you. You could make a little handprint. You could make a picture of a heart with you in the middle or holding your family's hands. Or if you're a little bit older, you can write a little note on a heart. I love you. Thank you for being my mom. You're a great dad. It's just taking a moment to do something special. Remember, it doesn't have to cost any money. It comes right from your heart, and that's more important than anything else, rascals. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day. And again, if you need me, reach out. My website is readingrascals.org. Take care, rascals.